Hello and welcome to the second episode of Refashionista Chat live on the Confessions of a Refashionista Facebook page, blah, 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 with yours truly, Sherry Pavlovich. Now, before we get started, jumping right into my groovy 4-step wardrobe audit, I want to remind you guys that any posts that you see in Confessions of a Refashionista on the Facebook page, on the blog, the channel, in my Gone Thrifting group, any posts that you like, please do share them. It really is important to share the posts you like online and get more people, living this reuse lifestyle. And also it is very important for myself as well to get more eyes on my Confessions of a Refashionista content. And the more views I have, the more fabulous content I can actually create for you guys. So hit those little share buttons. It only takes a second and it doesn't cost a penny. So yeah, share the love, share the rockin' refashions, and let's get everyone living a more sustainable lifestyle. Though in my kind of wardrobe, it's it's a bit out of hand. But again, I kind of make myself feel better about that by saying, oh, well, if it doesn't fit, I can refashion it. Most people don't really have that talent or ambition or will to be constantly refashioning and remaking their clothing, which is where my groovy 4-step wardrobe audit comes in. Now, I am going to be sharing the 4 steps today, and they are quite simple and easy to do. But if you want more in-depth information, you can always click the link above and go grab my $3 ebook. And that is packed with not only more in-depth, my 4 steps, but also loads of tips and tricks about how to thrift, how to shop secondhand, even some fancy schmancy laundry tips and tricks as well. And yeah, so there's a link above if you want even more in-depth wardrobe audit to do yourself. Okay, shall we dive into it? Let's get going with my 4-step wardrobe audit. Now, I mentioned before in my other live video, if you come to my fancy little studio showroom in Toronto, I have all these nice little postcards that fit wonderfully in your pocket or bag that I have printed out. Now, last time we went over my top 5 thrifting tips. Today we're doing the 4-step wardrobe audit. And again, if you come to my groovy little showroom and studio, you get loads of these things to take with you. Okie dokie, let us get started. Now, the very, very first step is to grab your 4 favorite outfits from these 4 different categories. Everything seems to be 4 with my wardrobe audit, which is good. It's a nice, easy number to deal with. So the first one is an outfit that you're comfortable, that you feel good in wearing to work or daytime. As you can see, I have my examples behind me, so I shall show you my personal work outfit. Now, I'm lucky enough to be able to work from my home studio and showroom. And so because of that, I get to wear groovy, oversized sweaters like this wonderful one that I thrifted just last week, and leggings. So this is my kind of regular work uniform because when you are creating tutorials and sitting at the computer all day, editing the videos, the pictures, and writing all the content, you want to be comfortable but cozy at the same time, as it is winter in Canada and it's quite chilly. As you are pulling your outfits for these 4 categories, make sure to also include your footwear and accessories as well. Now, the footwear that I wear with my wonderful cozy outfits are, of course, a pair of comfortable booty cozy slippers. So the first outfit you're going to pull is going to be, as I said, your work or day wear. Now, second outfit, a night out, what you feel absolutely great in when you go for a night out. If you go for a night out. don't just kind of pick something that if you could go for a night out, this is what you would wear. I don't often get to go out, so that's kind of what I did here. For myself, I am addicted to jumpsuits, and I, again, recently thrifted this one, and it's a total 80s special from Norma Kamali, who I'd actually never heard of, but apparently is some fancy schmancy jumpsuit designer. So yay me, good score. So as I said, this would be for a night out. I would wear this fancy jumpsuit because, of course, it has wonderfully huge pockets, which is always a necessity. This groovy little lace vintage pendant that I kind of refashioned and fixed. I don't know if that really shows up well, but it is very, very pretty. And I'm all about crossbody bags. I like to be hands-free, so this fancy little beaded purse. And that would absolutely hold pretty much everything that I would need to take on a night out. And as I said, you also have to include the footwear. And for me, I'm all about the comfort, especially if I'm going for a night out, and especially if I'll be hitting the dance floor. So my fantastic chunky heel boots that I refashioned, and the tutorial is over on the blog for how I refashioned these. They were full of horrible buckles, which I removed and added this pretty vintage Edelweiss trim from Germany. So those flowers, of course, match the floral jumpsuit. Now, please, by all means, be hitting those little hearts and likes so I know if you like what I'm doing, or leave a comment, ask a question. So far we have 2 outfits picked. We have the work and / daytime outfit and the night out outfit. Next, casual. Now for me, I mean casual because I pretty much, my work outfit is, you know, leggings and oversized sweaters. So that's pretty casual. So for me it would be more what I would wear to go out to a cafe, to go thrifting, to basically leave my home office and kind of have a life for a few hours. And I actually would wear something like what I'm wearing today, a cool little vest and a groovy little glitzery top. But even more so, because it is, again, winter time, a fancy little beret, and a groovy turtleneck sweater, plus, of course, another fancy vintage pendant necklace, as well as a pair of groovy trousers, very, very cool, and a very, very funky vintage handbag to top it all off. But what am I going to wear on my feet with this? Well, my darlings, give me a moment. One must, of course, be fancy when one is going out casually. So silver booties will be worn with that outfit. And the silver then matches the pendant and the details on the handbag. Okay, so now we are moving on to the 4th outfit that you must choose for my 4-step wardrobe audit, and that is fancy schmancy. Now, fancy schmancy can be different things to different people. For me, it would be really like if you're really going out and being fancy, you know, like to a fancy schmancy New Year's Eve party, or to a very frou-frou type of restaurant, or maybe you are lucky enough to get invited to a movie premiere or something like that. This is your fancy schmancy look. And for me, it is, of course, a refashioned, glittery, vintage dress. Now again, the tutorial for like all of this stuff is, of course, over on awesomesaucehattery.com. And this one, I actually cut the bottom, and because I like shorter dresses, and remade the bottom into sleeves. So this now has these funky bell sleeves on it. And of course, we need to have the vintage handbag to go along with the look, as well as my trusty, rather old vintage block heel boots. Again, I'm all about comfort in footwear, and I've had these for over a decade. So again, proof that if you just take care of them, you know, your footwear really can last a lifetime. And again, these were purchased secondhand, and I polished them with banana peels or olive oil. And yeah, they look fantastic still after over 10 years. And again, they were secondhand when I got them. Right, so first step, pick these 4 categories of outfits: work and daytime, a night out, casual, and fancy schmancy. Once you have pulled those 4 outfits, and these are your ideals, you now have figured out your unique style that you feel great in, that you just look in the mirror and go, damn, I am awesome. And all of this, I mean, how easy was that? So simple to figure out what you feel great in. So right away, just from choosing these 4 outfits, you know the kind of things that when you do go shopping next, you want to be picking out those style of items, because that's what you feel good in. That's what you feel fits you best. And that's what it's all about. It's about how you feel in the clothes, not about what other people say or what other people think. It's all about you, and you got to get that in your head. It's about you. So you can set those aside for now. Now next we have another 4 categories, and for this one you're going to throw open your dresser. This one takes a bit of time, but it is awfully fun, especially if you're doing it with a friend and you know, you have your lovely cup of tea or a glass of wine or what have you, and it's kind of like a wardrobe sorting party. Now your 4 categories now, once you've thrown open your closet and all your drawers, I mean, we're taking everything out. You want to have incorrect size. So anything that really does not fit you at all. You do not wear these things. They are not your size. It can be too small, too big, whatever. All that goes into the incorrect size pile. Another pile, worn out. Now these are items that you're really, you know, you're not really wearing them because they're worn out. The next pile, you're not feeling it at all. Like maybe you got something, you thought it was great for, you know, a week or 2, as we do, but it's just sat in your drawer or sat hung up, wasting a hanger in your closet for way too long. And then the 4th category are items that you have not worn for 6 to 12 months. Now, it can be that maybe you have something like a really wacky silver jumpsuit that you only bust out for Halloween. That's fine, cool, hold on to that, because technically you will have worn that maybe in the last 12 months of last Halloween. Anything else, you know, that you're just holding on to it just because you really like the fabric, but you know you're never going to wear it, it goes in that unworn for 6 to 12 months pile. So next, 4 categories. Just lay them out on your bed. Incorrect size, worn out, not feeling it at all, and unworn for 6 to 12 months. Now, anything that's left in your drawers or your closet, that's all the stuff that you get to keep. For sure, for sure, for sure. Because this is all the stuff that doesn't belong in any of those kind of get rid of it piles. So yay, you may have actually pared down your wardrobe quite a bit just from simply sorting into those 4 categories. Now, next we kind of have to go through those 4 piles again, think about it, and as you're going through each item, maybe you need to put it in a different pile, maybe you change your mind about it, but then you can further pare it down. And for example, if you're going through your I haven't worn this for 6 to 12 months pile, maybe you can make a sub pile if you know someone or there's someone in your family that you know would love to have that. Then shoot it over in the give it away to family or friends pile. I actually don't really like to donate a lot of stuff to thrift stores anymore. This has really kind of come about since I returned to North America, and I just don't really agree with a lot of the policies from the people who run these the big thrift stores. I do like donating to small one-off kind of charity shops because I do actually know that the money is going exactly where they say it's going to go. Other than that, I think it's a really good idea to give your items to swaps if you have any local swaps, or to have a swap of your own. Make your own little swap party. And again, in my my DIY wardrobe audit, there is instructions for how to do all of this kind of stuff. And again, the link is above if you want to head over and get that. It's only $3. And right, so going back to another reason I don't really like donating to thrift stores is a lot of the time in these big thrift stores, only about 20% of the donated items actually make it out onto the shop floor. And that's not really a lot if you think about it. The other 80+% are resold to antique dealers, vintage sellers, and however else they can get more money than simply putting an item out on the floor. Damaged items that they know they cannot resell are sold onto recycling plants, which is fine. You know, like fabric recyclers and all of that kind of stuff. That's great. And the rest, they actually put in the trash, the landfill. They ends up in landfill, which is completely not okay. That's kind of ridiculous, especially when a lot of people do donate to thrift stores because they think that it's a better than just tossing it out in the trash. What the fact of the matter is, a lot of it does actually end up in the trash. Another idea is to check online and in your local area for any sort of women's shelters or homeless shelters, youth shelters. Any places like this, of course, would love to have your donations, and then they pass them on to people who really do need them at absolutely no cost. And that's much better than shipping all of your stuff over to a for-profit thrift store that is probably just going to end up chucking much of it out anyway. So that's not great either. Just gotta check my notes here. I got a bit off topic, as I always seem to do. Now, because you have your 4 outfits from the very, very first step, as I said before, you now can go through the remaining items that you have in your closet and drawers and put together similar looks, because you know this is what you feel great in. You can also, now that we all have fancy, you know, computers in our pockets, use your phone, take a picture of each of your fave outfits, and always have it with you when you do hit the shops and thrift stores and swaps and whatever else. So you always keep that in your mind and don't end up buying things that are just going to end up, you know, lounging at the back of your closet until you do your next wardrobe audit. I actually like to do a wardrobe audit at the beginning of each season because, of course, the clothes are changing. You're going from cooler weather to warmer weather, vice versa. And it's a really good way to kind of make sure that you don't have a storage room full of suitcases full of clothes that you actually aren't going to be wearing in the next season either. So again, that's it. That is my wonderful 4 steps wardrobe audit. Also, as I said, head on over, click the link and grab my wardrobe audit DIY book, and has all the steps in there, plus loads more tips and tricks and laundry help and all of this good kind of stuff. And as I also said, remember to share your fave tutorials, your favorite posts, and let's get everyone, you know, more into this sustainable lifestyle that we are so proud to lead. And yeah, get this cute little mug out there more. Help me out of it, guys. Share. Alrighty, until next Tuesday, where I think I just might be sharing my groovy vintage handbag collection, which is really out of hand, but it will be loads of fun because these are groovy handbags from pretty much every place I have lived in the world: Japan, England, Greece, Germany, and of course North America. So yeah, see you next Tuesday, and until next time, I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Mwah!